In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 destinations to visit on this new year 2021. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. As the new year 2021 is drawing close, new resolutions are being set up. Midnight kisses are being anticipated, and that perfect night out with friends and family is being planned. All this comes once a year and most of us plan a fun-filled evening of party and drinks. So where should you be this time when the clock tongs 12 on 31st midnight? London, Paris, or New York? We have scrounged the globe for you, and here are the best places to celebrate New Year 2021. Here are a few of the best places to spend New Year's Eve and start a new one on a happy note. All these places have their own unique experiences, so pick your favorite and have an amazing time with your closed ones. Number 10. Sydney, Australia. Harbour of Light Parade and Fireworks. Sydney clocks in the new year a little sooner than the rest of the world, so it is only understandable that it's as grand as ever. Pulling over 1 million year on year, Sydney's New Year Eve celebrations are a sight behold. All the world's cameras are focused on the harbour, as the city's sky bursts into a dramatic outburst of pyrotechnic displays. While the firework displays are undoubtedly the highlight, there's a lot more to do in Sydney on New Year's Eve. The population of Sydney in 1788 was less than 1,284. With convict transportation, it almost tripled in 10 years to 2,953. 285. For each decade since 1961, the population has increased by more than 250,000. 286. Sydney's population at the time of the 2016 census was 5,005,400. It has been forecast that the population will grow to between 8 and 8.9 million by 2061. Despite this increase, the Australian Bureau of Statistics predicts that Melbourne will replace Sydney as Australia's most populous city by 2026. The four most densely populated suburbs in Australia are located in Sydney, with each having more than 13,000 residents per square kilometre, 33,700 residents per square mile. The median age of Sydney residents is 36 and 12.9% of people are 65 or older. The married population accounts for 49.7% of Sydney, whilst 34.7% of people have never been married, 48.9% of families are couples with children, 33.5% are couples without children, and 15.7% are single-parent families. Number 9. Edinburgh, Scotland. Street dance, concerts, and fireworks. Why would you choose a New Year break in Scotland? Well, no other nation in the world celebrates the New Year with quite as much revelry and passion as Scotland does, and it's hardly surprising that the enormous celebration that engulfs the country is legendary the world over. Hogmanay is what we Scots call New Year's Eve, the 31st of December, the big night that marks the arrival of the new year. Its origins reach back to the celebration of the winter solstice among the Vikings, with wild parties in late December. Number 8. New York, United States. Pyrotechnic light shows and concerts. New York City. From the iconic ball drop in Times Square to the epic parties thrown in grand venues across the city, New York lives up to its name as the city that never sleeps. And whether you want to participate in a midnight run, jam out at Phish's annual concert in Madison Square Garden, or celebrate without spending a dime, there's really no excuse for not partaking in a bit of New Year's revelry. The Central Park fireworks display is visible from just about everywhere in the park, or from any location where a good portion of the park is visible. Though it's not exactly picnic weather come December 31st, there are plenty of well-lit, lively, and pretty places in the park to settle in for the show. Unlike Times Square, Central Park food and drink vendors will still be serving hot warm snacks and sips to visitors. The fireworks are set off from the Naumburg Bandshell around 70th Street, just south of the Bethesda Fountain. There is significant biodiversity in New York City in the parks, the Hudson River, and the various wetlands in the bay. The megacity has more than 350 species of birds, 170 the Hudson River and the various wetlands in the bay. The megacity has more than 350 species of birds, 170 fish, 30 mammals, 32 reptiles and amphibians. 3,000 plant species have been identified in New York by teams at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. 101 The urban environment is home to common species such as sparrows, starlings, pigeons, squirrels, but also wilder animals such as snow goose and various species of ducks spend the winter in the New York Area 102. The uninhabited islands of New York squirrels but also wilder animals such as snow goose and various species of ducks, spend the winter in the New York Area 102. The uninhabited islands of New York Harbor are the refuge of egrets, herons and ibis 103. Several pairs of peregrine falcons have been observed 102. They regulate populations of pigeons, starlings and sparrows. The most common trees are oak, Virginia tulip and elm 101. Number 7. Berlin, Germany. Street parties, food and magic shows. Berlin is by far the most popular place in Germany to welcome in the new year. Indeed, 1/3 of Germans can imagine celebrating the final night of the year in the capital city. A short break in Berlin at the turn of the year is also increasingly popular among tourists. Every year on the 31st of December, around 2 million guests flock to the city, and turn the whole of Berlin into one huge New Year's Eve party. A great many tour operators offer special deals for New Year's Eve in Berlin, and virtually every bar and club puts on a program of events on this evening. The huge array of offers can rapidly become confusing though. Read here about the best places to watch the fireworks, and experience an utterly fantastic start to the new year. Number 6. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Wildest night party at Copacabana Beach. There is only one place you should go for New Year's Eve in Rio de Janeiro, and that is the same place where the other millions of people, around 2 million, go, Copacabana Beach. There are parties in other parts of Rio de Janeiro, like Barra, getting more popular each year for locals, Flamengo or São Conrado. But it's obvious that the one big celebration is held at the most famous beach of Brazil. Though in general it will be pretty busy anywhere in Copacabana, there are quite some differences in where to stay at the 4-kilometer-long beach. Number 5. London, England. Royal parades and fireworks. London New Year's Eve fireworks, a New Year's Eve firework display, is celebrated along the Victoria Embankment and South Bank areas of the River Thames, where the London Eye and Big Ben are situated. The countdown is accompanied by the chimes of Big Ben, and a digital countdown timer projected onto the Shell Center. Number 4. Hawaii, Pacific. U.S. outdoor music concerts and cruises. New Year's in Hawaii is a big deal, as hotels, restaurants, and bars throw some of the biggest bashes of the year. So there's plenty of party options to choose from, such as a pineapple drop and a mysterious midnight mirage, as we say aloha to our current decade, and, well, aloha to the next. Continuing the tradition of dropping objects to celebrate the new year, the town center of Mililani will be holding a pineapple drop event for the community. The 12-foot pineapple will begin its descent at 7 p.m., aglow with more than 2,000 bulbs, and is synced to the Times Square Garden ball drop. Number 3. Miami, Florida. Dance-a-thons and music. The search for the best New Year's Eve events in Miami can be daunting. People put a lot of pressure on poor old December 31st. Where to go? Who to kiss? Will the feeling ever return to your toes, after running around for 7 hours in the world's most uncomfortable shoes? Things can go very right or very wrong. Or maybe you're just making things more complicated than they have to be. Either way, we want to help. Depending on the level of lit or lavishness you're trying to achieve, there's a party on this list for everyone. You'll recognize many of the venues below as our picks for the best restaurants in Miami and the best clubs in Miami. There are some off-the-beaten-path options too. Once you've picked the right one, take a deep breath and focus on the easy part, having fun. And don't worry, it's definitely still too soon to start thinking about those 2021 resolutions. Number 2. Las Vegas, Nevada. Street parties, drinks and fireworks. There may be nothing more sinfully luxurious than spending New Year's Eve in Las Vegas. Revelers can start their evening off right by getting pampered at one of the many spas that dot the Strip, before heading out for a bite to eat at one of the best restaurants you've ever been to. Then, round out your evening at one of the many New Year's Eve concerts, clubs, or parties, before watching the ball drop and seeing the spectacular fireworks show that takes place as the clock strikes 12. Whatever you decide to do, time is running short, so start planning your night itinerary now. If you need some extra advice, we've compiled some sample itineraries to get the ball rolling at the end of those posts. Number 1. Bahamas, parades, masquerades and fireworks. The Bahamas is a popular safe haven for the corrupt people, as well as other large companies to save the tax money. However, the Bahamas is also a popular travel destination across the world. Bahamas is a beautiful small island nation and popular around the world. It has a few luxury hotels and resorts to celebrate and welcome the new year. You would really enjoy beautiful nightlife of the Bahamas. You should not miss an opportunity to enjoy NI 2021 events and midnight parties. Many events are kids-friendly and family-friendly in this small island nation. What do you think of our list? Which country would you like to visit on this New Year's Eve? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.